Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the 46th part of What If Deku Was a Magical Girl Mascot, Quirk, Magical Girl Mascot. The author of this great fanfic is Emma. I believe links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 46, Time's Up. Izuku ran towards the clearing for the wild pussycats, ready to confront them what was going on. He knew that he was cutting it close, cutting it very close. Hopefully he could do it quickly. Deku! Mentally yelled Katsuki. It will be fine. Izuku tried to reassure her. That was when he made it to the clearing where the two conscious wild pussycat were fighting. The two heroes saw him. Kota's safe, said Izuku. Mandalay breathed a sigh of relief as she couldn't to fight. Also, I have two messages from Aizawa that you need to spread around, said Izuku. What are they? Asked Mandalay. Izuku told them. Mandalay sent out the message telepathically. An order from Aizawa. You're allowed to engage villains if you find them. Also, we have discovered what they're after. They're after Izuku Midoriya. Throughout the camp, those that heard this message was surprised. Well, partially only a couple didn't know this. You got the word out. Now go back to Camp Deku, scolded Katsuki. She's right, please get to camp, thought Inko. Please come to camp, thought Ida. I will, thought Izuku. He ran back towards the camp. Mandalay and Tiger both breathed a sigh of relief as they watched the boy with animal traits run towards the camp. It also helped that he briefly distracted the two villains they were fighting as he was their target. However, as he running towards the camp, he was engulfed by a puff of smoke and turned back into his animal form. Oh no, thought Izuku. You're out of time, aren't you? Thought Katsuki. I am, thought Izuku, who went into some bushes. Keep the line open, thought Tenya. I know, thought Izuku. Meanwhile, Katsuki and Shoto were getting into a fight about fighting the villain. Look, I know how to control my explosions, yelled Katsuki. You still might cause a forest fire, scolded Shoto. Katsuki rolled her eyes. Meanwhile, with Achiko and Tsuyu, they looked at the villain in front of them, which was a blonde girl with messy twin buns, wearing a sailor fake and wearing weird device on her. Is it just me or does she remind you of Sailor Moon, thought Achiko. I guess it's the blonde buns, thought Tsuyu. What? Thought everyone else. Explain later, thought Achiko. Achiko transformed and so did Tsuyu. I think Aizawa wants us to do this in self-defense, though Tsuyu. Achiko nodded. Oh, so you're the magical girls I heard so much about, said the girl. I hope I get to become one soon. What does that mean? Asked Achiko, getting a bad feeling about it. Oh, I think I said too much. The villain girl replied, oh, my name is Himiko Toga, by the way. She grabbed a knife and tried to stab her, but Achiko just jumped out of the way. Tsuyu then aimed and attacked with her tongue. Toga nearly cut it. Thankfully, Tsuyu managed to get her tongue away in time. Deku, please stay safe. The villain we're fighting just said something I didn't like, thought Achiko. I know, thought Izuku. With Izuku, he was crawling through bushes while not making anything noises. However, a figure appeared behind him and Izuku turned around and looked. Meanwhile, with Katsuki and Shoto, that was when the two of them felt it. The telepathy was turned off. And Katsuki quickly realized that it wasn't done on purpose. No, said Shoto. You fuckers are going to pay for this, yelled Katsuki, who was angrier than she ever been in her life. And that's saying something. At the same time, Achiko was also upset. Toga was also getting some sort of message. You got him? She asked out loud. I haven't gotten any blood yet. Should I still get it, or, they're standing right here, both of them are magical girls, okay. What did you do to Deku? Achiko practically growled out. Oh, Deku? Is he your boyfriend? Asked Toga. I had the feeling that you had feelings for someone. Wow. You are lucky. Achiko shook as she said that. That was when things all around her started float. Oh wow. You seem really upset, said Toga. She summoned her wand and used her wand to make whatever was floating to crash into Toga. However, the girl villain managed to dodge. Achiko, please calm down, begged Tsuyu. Achiko tried, but it was hard. At the same time, Katsuki transformed into her magical girl form. She launched herself at the villain. She unleashed a powerful explosion, launching the villain into the air. Then Katsuki summoned her wand and shot her strongest explosion high into the air, lighting up the sky. Katsuki, said Shoto. I don't care if it was overkill, yelled Katsuki. That wasn't what I was going to say. I was going to say something along the lines of wait until he was done and then if we could follow him, said Shoto. Fuck, yelled Katsuki. That was when the poison gas started to clear. You don't think? Said Shoto. No, I get the feeling someone else is the reason why it was clearing, muttered Katsuki. As it turned out, it was team of Tetsu and Kendo that cleared the poison gas. But I get the feeling where we should head, said Katsuki. What? Asked Shoto. The gas and the fire are a little too convenient, said Katsuki. Shoto's eyes widened. Back with Achiko and Tsuyu, they and Toga briefly stared at where the explosion lit up the night sky. That was the explode magical girl, right? Asked Toga. Yeah, definitely Kaken, said Achiko, and there's a reason why she blew up. That was when Toga decided to take advantage of this moment and rewards Achiko with her knife. However, Achiko remembered her training with Gunhead, who taught her how to handle an opponent with a knife. She used this skill to force Toga to the ground. You're going to tell us where they're taking Deku right now, said Achiko. You love him, don't you? Asked Toga. It must be very special if you're fighting this much for him. Achiko blared at the villain she was pinning down. I bet you love to dress up like him and be just like him, said Toga. Oh, I bet you have matching sets of clothes. Achiko didn't say anything about that. Just tell me what I want to know, muttered Achiko. What are you planning with him? I hope one day I find him and be with him the same way. I want to become him too, laughed Toga. That was when suddenly she stabbed Achiko with a large needle from the strange device she was wearing. And it was clear it was draining her blood. Achiko, said Tsuyu. Tell me where they're taking him, yelled Achiko. Hey, yelled a voice. Toga got scared by this and pushed away Achiko as Tokoyami and Shoji was running towards them. Great, more people, muttered Toga, who began to run away. Hey, back here, yelled Achiko. She started to chase Toga. Are you two all right? Asked Shoji. You're bleeding, said Tsuyu to Shoji. It was true, one of Shoji's tentacles was bleeding. It could be worse, muttered Tokoyami. I lost control of Dark Shadow. If it wasn't for Bakugo's massive explosion, I don't know if I would have been able to calm it down. Did something happen to Midoriya? Asked Shoji. He was captured, sighed Tsuyu. At least we hope so. I doubt that he's dead, said Tokoyami. If he was dead, I would be sure that his quirk would stop working. Tsuyu's eyes widened. We should head back to camp, just in case Dark Shadow loses control again, said Shoji. Tsuyu nodded, knowing that they probably wouldn't be able to catch up to Achiko, especially since they were unable to communicate at the moment. Meanwhile, in the classroom that was set up for the remedial students, Tenya was not in a good mood. After seeing that explosion, she knew whatever was going on was bad. She was pacing back and forth. She had wanted to go help out, but the Class 1B homeroom teacher Vlad King wouldn't let her leave. Wow, that blonde must be something if you're acting like this, said Monoma, who was also there in taking the remedial class. It's not just that, yelled Tenya. Come on, class rep. Take it easy, said Sato. It's not just the fact that they have Izuku, but I have a feeling, said Tenya. She looked at the teacher. Do you know about Izuku's quirks' other possible capabilities? Asked Tenya. You mean healing and how it affected Midoriya's mother? Asked Vlad King. Everyone in the room was confused, not about the healing aspect but about how it affected Inko. We heard about it, said Vlad King. I think that's the main reason why they're taking him, said Tenya. Vlad King's eyes widened. Even if it causes men to turn into women, the other effects are too valuable, said Tenya, and I know from experience and in the right circumstances it is a price that I know they'd willing to pay. Back with Katsuki and Shoto, Shoto still dragged the unconscious member of Class 1B while she followed Katsuki. Are you sure they're this way? Asked Shoto. It's just a guess, but, said Katsuki. Shoto didn't say anything. Meanwhile, Achiko flew after Toga, knowing she would lead them to where they were taking Izuku. She was high enough that she noticed a certain pair nearby in the forest. She once again summoned her wand and pointed at them. Back with Katsuki and Shoto, both of them started to float. Shoto was concerned, but Katsuki smirked. Don't panic, said Katsuki, its round face. They counted to float and soon they were close to Achiko. I found one of the villains, said Achiko. Great, said Katsuki, I'm ready to make them pay. We don't know how they have Izuku, pointed out Shoto. One of the villains, I still haven't lost sight of her, said Achiko. Katsuki looked down. Huh? Said Katsuki. What is it? Asked Shoto. You and Juan Frogface were right, she does look a little like Sailor Moon, said Katsuki. I know, right? Said Achiko. You two are the ones clearly most upset by this, said Shoto with a sweat drop. Icy hot is right, muttered Katsuki. Let's get Deku back, said Achiko. Both Shoto and Katsuki nodded. And hopefully they would be able to rescue Izuku. However, it wasn't going to be easy at all, even if they do find him. But for now they could only hope. That will be it for this part. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 47. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.